Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. With the Season 2 Reloaded update, we actually got a couple of new settings introduced into Warzone 2, MW2, and DMZ. So I figured this was a fantastic opportunity to, one, go over these new settings and talk about what you should be using for the best gameplay experience possible, and two, highlight a few of the other most important settings in the game. We got a couple to, talk about here that will seriously impact your gameplay and hopefully improve your entire gameplay experience as well, make things more smooth, more convenient for you so you can optimize everything there. So initially here, let's focus on some of the new settings. One of the big updates that was a heavy focus for Season 2 Reloaded, specifically on PC, was an audio update to ideally make things a lot clearer, give you better footstep audio, better directional audio, so you can stop wondering why someone just landed on you on Resurgence and you didn't hear a thing, or why two players just sprinted up right next to you and executed you or whatever, did an operator finishing move on you, and you had no audio whatsoever. So essentially now in the audio settings tab, there's going to be a speakers output option for PC players with the options of Windows default and stereo. And according to the devs, stereo is going to be the way to go if you are trying to have the best audio experience possible. Now, when it comes to the actual audio preset itself, personally, I'm using the bass boosted. That's a pretty solid one for my particular headset. Some of the devs have also explained though that the home theater option is also going to highlight things like footsteps very well as well if you have another high tier headset available. So both of those are going to be really good choices. Kind of depends on what you think sounds the best for you and what's the smoothest experience there, depending on what kind of headset you have or earbuds or whatever your situation might be there. But stereo is going to be the one that's going to be the most optimal for hearing consistent audio. Now, yes, this game's audio is far from perfect. There still are going to be situations where you don't hear footsteps, you don't hear the player landing on you, but they should be less frequent than before if you are running stereo. Essentially, the way that the devs explained it to us is that people who have newer Windows updates or newer PCs, the audio settings of those PCs would actually conflict with the audio settings of Warzone 2 and MW2. So while you might have a certain audio setting for Windows, and while you might have a certain audio setting in MW2 and Warzone, it would actually be overridden and cause channels to go missing. So you would still have a left audio channel and a right audio channel for sort of a surround sound experience. However, your front and rear audio channels would be very jumbled with occlusion and all sorts of issues there that wouldn't highlight certain footsteps or certain audio aspects of the game. And that's why we'd have all the situations where someone could be running right behind you and you never really clearly heard them. So stereo currently on PC is the way to go for your speaker output there for the most consistent audio. The second new update and option and setting here for Season 2 Reloaded is actually available on all platforms, and that is the inverted flash option. Essentially what this does is that when you get hit by a flashbang, whether this is in multiplayer or Warzone or DMZ, it would usually cause your screen to light up bright white, very bright, blinding if you're playing in a dark room or something. It's just obnoxious and annoying. They basically took one out of several other games, a Notebook, if you will. I think Battlefield does this, where instead of having a bright white flash on your screen, if you get hit by a flashbang, it's just going to make your screen go dark for a couple of seconds, whatever the duration of that flash is, if you have battle hardened or not, right? So you can actually have the dark flash setting now, where if you get flashbanged, your screen will go dark instead of bright white. And personally, I feel like that's a much better experience. I'd rather be having a dark screen than being blinded by my screen as I'm trying to run through. So personally, I think having the inverted flash setting on so you get that dark screen flashbang is the way to go. This is largely a preference one though. It depends on if you want to be blinded or not, but that is a new option there available for all players. Now, as mentioned, I also want to highlight a couple of other key settings between platforms and between input options here with keyboard and mouse and controller that are going to be very, very important for overall gameplay, especially here in Warzone 2 and DMZ, to have the smoothest experience possible. Real quick as we get into this, just a reminder, if you're new to the channel, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you guys enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. It would be seriously appreciated. But let's focus first on aim assist real quick. Obviously, aim assist is a very controversial topic here. It's very powerful in MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ, and if you are a controller player, you might want to switch over your aim assist settings to the Black Ops option. Now, for for the most part, switching between Black Ops and, standard and the other options that are there, it's going to have a relatively minor effect on overall feel outside of very specific situations where a setting like Black Ops is going to be able to pick up on certain rotational aim assist that's going to be very powerful. And yes, it is honestly to the point where it is overpowered in the rotational setting, where you are moving and it'll pick up that player, potentially coming around a corner and make that gunfight ridiculously easy for you. Or sometimes even through objects and through walls, you can tell a player is somewhere because of that rotational aim assist slowdown. It is a pretty broken mechanic, and right now with Black Ops aim assist, the chances of having that situation happen where you do get that super strong aim assist seems a lot more likely than on the other options. So running Black Ops could be a little bit overpowered as of right now. There was a few weeks in time where it seemed like they nerfed it and it was very broken and wasn't consistent. And then one day everyone just kind of woke up and was like, hey, Black Ops still feels really good. So definitely the one worth running there. Now, moving on, the next one I want to focus on is the apply all armor setting. I'm going to keep it a buck. This one is very straightforward. Having this on is going to speed things up a ton, especially now after Season 2 Reloaded. They did implement a fix for DMZ gameplay and Warzone 2 gameplay, where if you run over plates, you will finally automatically pick them up when you run over them. I won't lie, it's still not a perfect solution. It is sometimes not working as intended, and there will be times when I do run over plates and they don't automatically pick up, but it's working most of the time from my experience so far. And having that apply all armor plate option makes it so that you only have to press your armor button once and you start applying all the plates you possibly can. So if you are in a super hectic situation where you happen to be running by, you pick up some plates automatically from the ground, rather than trying to figure out how many plates you just picked up and you have to spam your plate button to put them all on, you can just press this once. It'll put on as many plates as you can possibly put on to get you back to max health. It's just going to make things very fluid, very smooth, and ultimately make your gameplay optimization a little bit better there for those, again, specific hectic situations where you might need that ease of use to keep your eyes on the gunfight or keep your eyes on the, map situation where you have to rotate to if you're trying to maneuver throughout and put some distance in between you and an enemy. Whatever the case may be, apply all armor. Having that on is just going to make your life so much easier. And you can always quickly cancel the armor animation if you want by YYing or sprinting out of it with that. Then finally, I want to focus on prioritize interact as a button layout. This is particularly useful for quick looting, whether this is in DMZ or Warzone 2, rather than having to hold a button to open a crate or to open a door or to pick something up off the ground. This is going to make it so that you just have to press the button once, super quick. It'll pick the thing up. It'll interact with whatever it is you're interacting with nice and quick. You don't have to spend any extra time waiting on that sort of finicky input to actually recognize. It's just going to save literally milliseconds at a time, but over time, once the full game is complete, you're going to realize, yeah, I was able to quickly run through and pick up a plate or pick up a gun in a sticky situation because I could just quickly tap it and interact with it that way. Again, just like the armor plate thing, it's going to apply in small situations, but make an overall very big impact on your long-term gameplay here for fluidity and for smoothness in general. So all that being said, those are some of the most important settings you want to focus on right now for improving your gameplay here in Warzone 2, MW2, and DMZ, and what to do with some of those new settings that were added in with the most recent updates. If you guys enjoyed the video or if you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications so you can always guarantee you are up to date with absolutely everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.